Hi folks, Buffin here with your Antifa News Briefa for October 22nd, 2021, Pfizer edition. So, I learned some things about Pfizer today. First, I want to say, full disclosure, I got the Pfizer vaccine personally. Appreciate the vaccine. The vaccine is good. Nothing wrong with the vaccine itself. So don't listen to all the people who are trying to tell you there's something wrong with the vaccine itself. They're doing that because they're trying to spread the virus as much as they possibly can for various reasons, to kill everybody and ultimately to sell more vaccine. But because there's ways that we could stop it, but certain people don't want to stop it. They want to keep it going to sell more vaccines / sell more other treatments and kill people because they don't care about that. They're fine with killing people. So those people need to be stopped. That's what this is all about basically stopping Pfizer, and how Pfizer, like Facebook, has pushed it too far. And they've gone to where they're going to need to be taken over as a company. I don't mean by like a hostile takeover by a merger. I mean government takeover. So in a way you think, well, gosh, the government set it up for Pfizer to make all this money. They're obviously in it together. And to an extent they are, but Pfizer's taken it too far. They've taken it even further than that. They've pushed their power beyond the power of not just our government, but other governments. And they're going to need to be stopped. And just like Facebook did the same thing. They pushed their power. They made their power part of, at Putin's behest, honestly, they made their power part of stealing people's democracies, or, making certain people like Bolsonaro or Trump or Modi seem popular, who really aren't popular, but making them popular through their social media influence, making them seem popular enough to get them elected. They did other worse stuff than that too. Lying about the virus is one of the worst, but they've done other worse stuff. Genocides they were part of in Myanmar, all sorts of terrorist organizing by these same fascists. They've done terrible stuff, and they need to be nationalized for that reason. We kind of want Facebook, the thing, to still be around. We just don't want it to be run that way. So you want the government to run it. When the government runs it, we elect the government, ideally. So this is the whole thing, is our government has been, in supposedly democratic system of USA, our government's been run by corporations. We all know this. Corporations have been running and picking the politicians. Corporations are buying Kristen Sinema or Joe Manchin or whoever, and buying all the Republicans and buying half the Democrats in order to keep things the way they are. We all know this, but they've taken it too far. So if the people start to demand that we take Facebook, nationalize it, you take Pfizer, nationalize it, once we start doing things like that, and then you take, the healthcare system, nationalize it. Once we do that, take the insurance system, nationalize it, or, merge it with the healthcare system. Scrap all the waste, cut out all the waste, and have a transparent government doing it that we actually elect. We'll flip democracy so that the government owns the corporations. Instead of the corporations owning the government owns the corporations, and the government will be the people. That's democracy. That's the ideal. And we'll get there, partly because of how far they've made the mistakes. Now, I did want to give credit to Joe Biden, because Joe Biden did supposedly say he was going to remove patent restrictions on the vaccine so that other people could use American-produced vaccines. I don't know if he was just saying that or if he had no real authority to make it happen. But what I heard today on Democracy Now!, thanks Amy Goodman and her guest, I forgot his name, but thank you for having him on, was explaining how countries have signed contracts with Pfizer, including, in the case of Brazil, a contract that they previously had rejected, but it got worse thanks to Bolsonaro and Putin and Zuckerberg basically doing the same thing Trump did here. It got worse, and then they're in a position where they need it, and they had to accept Pfizer's terms. And Pfizer's terms are they can't criticize Pfizer, and Pfizer has all these protections and the right to just deny them, and the right to make them deny other free vaccines. It's crazy. So when we look into it, we start exposing it. Yeah, people will demand we take Pfizer because Pfizer's gone too far off the deep end to greed. It's not the whole company. Some people are good, but the people running it obviously need to be removed and replaced.